Welcome to day 12, strength day number 6. It's the last and final day, so congratulations. If you're curious at all about the rep sets, equipment needed, check out the description below. Today is the upper body day. Let me think. Again, sorry for the weather. Oregon's having some pretty nasty weather. As always, we want to start this with the warm-up, which again you can see in the description below. If this is your first time here, my name is Mark. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I am half of Mobility Duo with my wife, Sarah. She is in charge of the flexibility and mobility side. We are health professionals and athletes working primarily with snowboard and snow sport athletes, as well as weekend warriors. What we have here is a free example of a strengthening and flexibility and mobility program for snowboarders and snow athletes from us. It's our expertise, and we do offer more personalized movement consultations if you are interested. So let's get started. All right, movement number 1. You probably have seen this before if you've been following us for a while. We are doing some shoulder strengthening, specifically our external rotators, part of that rotator cuff. Very important for stability. What I'm going to go down here is on my side. I will have a towel, I have a t-shirt here. This is going to sit in between my elbow and my body. I have a very light weight here. Weight starts near my stomach, arm out in front. If there was a pretend bar going down to the top of my shoulder, down to my elbow, that arm is not going to move. It's all going to rotate at that elbow. That weight comes up towards the ceiling. And this one you can really up the weight, or repetitions, 15 to 20, depending on that weight. And we should feel that in the back of our shoulder. Once you've done that, switch and do the other side. All right, next shoulder movement we are working on our middle and low trapezius muscles. These are important because they control the scapula, which is part of our shoulder. So what I have here is I have a band, and I have an exercise ball. If you don't have the exercise ball, you can use a chair. Doesn't really matter. This is just for added abdominal strengthening. So you might have seen something similar in, I think it was day 1 or 2. We did a retraction, row, and external rotation. This is different because we're targeting our traps. So the band doesn't have to be heavy. I'm bringing my arms up to a Y position, and I'm moving that down using my low traps in that diagonal position. So there's not a ton of movement coming from my shoulder. So if I bring this up here, like so, I get that Y position. Careful for those of you who have shoulder instability. If you can only come here, that's okay. I come here, and I'm using those low traps in that diagonal position. The other movement is that T position, so I have that here, and I'm squeezing my middle traps. Again, not a ton of shoulder movement. Most of it should be coming from my middle trap. Okay? Last shoulder / chest movement we're doing today is we're going to do landmines, and I'll show you this with the barbell. I prefer the barbell just because it's a little bit heavier. I can control the incline a little bit more. I'll also show you this with the band. It's a little bit different. It's more like a press. So with the barbell here, if it is available to you, awesome. If not, totally understandable. I'm going to have this up here. Again, we're moving in that scaption position, so not directly out, not directly in front of you, somewhere right in the middle. I can control that incline depending on how my shoulder feels. So again, those of you who have shoulder instability, you may not be able to lift it directly overhead like so. You may have to keep it out slightly in front of you, and you may not be able to push it as high. So myself, I don't have shoulder injuries or anything like that in the past, so I can control that angle a little bit more. And I'm pushing that up above me, and I'm going to switch it side to side. Once I feel comfortable with this, I can add a plyometric to it. So I go up, and for those of you who are very eager, you can add a squat. All right. In regards to the band, Again, I can't get in quite the same incline because it's not pushing against me, it's pulling me away. So I kind of have to form my own incline so I can get in that slight squat position. And I'm pushing that scaption position away. And again, with the other side, like so. Next movement, we have a chest/back exercise. We're also working on our core. This is a push-up row movement. I like kettlebells because they're a little bit more unstable. It requires more shoulder stability. I like adding the row in because it's that kind of three-point contact. It really requires my core to be activated for balance. So I'll come down into the push-up position. These are about shoulder width apart, slightly angled, just because it helps with the balance. I'll show you the modified version in just a second, but I'm going in that push-up position. My arms are stacked directly over it. I go down into that push-up position. My feet are a little bit wider apart. I add the row in, keeping that core nice and activated, back down, and I switch sides. This movement, we're going for that 12 to 15. This one's gonna be tough, depending on the weight that you use. Modified version on my knees. Again, if I can't go all the way down, that's okay. I go partly down, row, partly down, row. Next back movement, we are going to do a single arm row in a half nail with a thoracic twist. So it's a mouthful, but I'll show you what that means. Again, we're using our bands because they're easy and cheap and effective. So I'm in a half kneel, doesn't matter what foot is forward. I'm gonna add some resistance by stepping back here. Again, you can add a pillow in the front over your knee. You can raise that back foot up for increased difficulties. So what I'm doing is I'm going to retract my scapula, pinch my shoulder blade first. I bring this back, keeping my elbow close to me, and then I add that twist with my mid-back. Now, this is a gentle twist. I'm not forcing it, but we're just adding some mobility in that spine. Very helpful with those rotational movements on the board. So again, I can keep my arm in front of me. Retraction first, row, twist, and back. One more time. Retraction, row, twist. Power move number one, we are going to do a push press. So this is a very common movement, but it's effective. A lot of the power is coming from my legs, actually primarily coming from my legs. So I'll show you without weight first. We're going to do a single arm push press. So I'm coming down into a squat position. I'm using my legs to throw that weight up. So I'm falling down underneath it and then pushing back up. So again, without weight, I'm coming underneath that weight. So I'll show you here with the dumbbell. I have it in that nice racked position. I have it up here, and then back down. So here, pushing it up, all right? So if you don't want to go all the way down, I can do kind of half squats, and back down, and then back down. So then 12 on one side, switch, and do 12 on the other. Final movement, congratulations. We're finishing off with the core movement, and they are reverse planks. So just like a plank, but backwards, we're gonna be on our back. So heels are gonna be down. It might be easier without shoes because it doesn't, shoes have a heel and it makes it a little bit harder. I'm gonna be on my forearms. I'll show you just like so. And we're gonna shoot for 30 to 45 seconds. If you can do more, do more. Okay, so this is great for our core, glutes, and everything in between. So, we're gonna dig our heels in first. My feet stay relatively neutral. My neck is gonna stay neutral. Okay, I come up, squeezing my core and my glutes. I would recommend putting something underneath your elbows, just because it's a lot of pressure and force pushing through those. I'm squeezing my bottom, keeping my core activated, and just watching the time tick away. Congratulations, you made it through the final day of strength. It was a tough one, but let us know what you think in the comments below. As always, the pros, the cons, questions, concerns, we always respond to all of those, and we love it. Otherwise, come with us tomorrow for the final day with Sarah for her flexibility mobility routine. I think that's it.